Okay. Thank you very much once again for joining this webinar. It's an informative webinar. It's something which, as a Chamber of SMEs, we're encouraging, also together with Circular Economy Malta. In the meantime, I'd like to also say to those attending to stay updated also if you're perhaps not members of the Malta Chamber of SMEs, feel free to get more information by contacting us on admin@smechamber.mt, and we'll provide you further information. So, together with us, we have Mr. Jason Vella, CEO at Circular Economy Malta, and Mr. Franco Scambri and Antonio Macchia, together with other employees at Circular Economy Malta. And today's session will focus on the Bring Your Own Container initiative. It's at this point, it's something voluntarily, it's something which it's just being encouraged. There are certain companies that they're already doing something similar, and today Circular Economy Malta will be providing further information about this. So I won't take much of your time. I'll invite Mr. Vella and to start off his presentation, and afterwards we'll have time to discuss and have some more questions. However, we'll have this time now to understand further about the Bring Your Own Container initiative. Shall I share the presentation from our end, Frank, or you prefer you share it from your end?
It's up to Jason.
Jason, sorry, Jason.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead, Fabian.
Okay.
And share it yourself.
Share it from my end. Okay.
Okay. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Abigail and Fabian for helping us to organize this session, where, as Fabian already mentioned, we are the intention of this session is to inform you and also understand from the members of the chamber any issues or concerns that they might have with respect to the initiative that we are right now planning. In fact, I must say that this session this initiative per se is still not officially launched. So the idea here today is to give a preview of what we will be proposing, and also hear any feedback that you might have on what we will be saying. Essentially, we can go to the first slide, please, Fabian. Essentially, the idea of this initiative stemmed from the fact that there are a number of European and local initiatives that essentially are aimed at reducing the amount of litter that we produce both on a European level, but also obviously on a national level. If I were to highlight the objective of the EU's Green Deal is to achieve carbon neutrality and by 2050, and as a result, a number of directives and plans have been drawn to essentially lessen the effects of plastic pollution and a key driver to achieving this intended result is the promotion of circular economy approaches. And in fact, the idea of bringing one's own container fits directly into this particular wish idea and essentially direction that there is as part of the European Green Deal. I'll move to the next slide, please. Just a moment. Okay. As such, from a local context, a survey had been carried out by NSO in 2023. It targeted people who do their grocery shopping, and obviously people aged over 16. And there were some very interesting insights that were a result of this particular study. You will see that there is, in all cases, over 60% of those interviewed that noticed an increase in alternatives to single-use plastic that were put for sale. That 62% also tried to avoid as much as possible plastic packaging, and 63% used reusable bags and containers for shopping. Essentially, this matches an internal survey which we had carried out within CE Malta to try to assess in a broader context how much the local community is geared towards the principles of circular economy, in that case, reuse, repurposing, etc. And I must say that the statistics that we are seeing here point to a very positive predisposition of the market already towards a circular approach. I must say as well that there are a number of subsidiary legislations that are in place. There's the long-term waste management plan that sees a waste reduction measure where retailers would offer discounts for customers who bring their own container. I must say that this initiative is very much well driven from this particular strategy. And there's also the single-use plastic framework, which in itself supports the implementation of bring your own container initiatives. Next slide, please. So what is this initiative about? Essentially, the idea is to promote the adoption among retail and catering establishments in Malta to provide some sort of financial incentive for consumers who bring and reuse their own container. The idea is to reuse, to encourage reuse and reduce as much as possible packaging waste. Obviously, in the process, we would want to recognize those establishments that foster this initiative and this idea within the market, and also encourage the long-term resource retention within the economy itself. Next slide, please. Okay. What are the benefits. The benefits, in my opinion, as I always say, for any circular economy initiative to be successful, there must be at least three wins that we are able to identify. There must be a win for the end customer. So the end customer is to feel that he or she have gained something from such an initiative. Obviously, there must be a gain also for the operator that is providing and supporting this initiative. Gains that could be reduction of cost, could be marketing exposure, it could be endorsement of the environmental credentials of the organization itself. And last but definitely not least is a win for the environment, in the sense that if we manage collectively with everyone's little effort to reduce the impact of landfilling of waste going to the landfill, at the end of the day, that would be also an environmental gain. Next slide, please. The idea behind the initiative itself is that operators willing to participate essentially would need to register and with CE Malta on a particular page, which you are seeing there. We are right now activating this page, so in the next couple of days you should be able to literally register online prior to the launch also of the scheme itself. Essentially, there are a number of guidelines and terms and conditions that we will go through, and essentially it's the usual registration that one would expect from something like that. But essentially, at the end of it, we will be assigning a unique ID, which in the future will be used for one, to identify the operator, but also will be used in future improvements and initiatives that will be tied to this particular initiative. Next page, please. Obviously, there are a number of guidelines that we are recommending to all economic operators. I must say at this juncture that we have already gone through a number of consultations with all interested stakeholders, given that the Bring Your Own Container initiative is aimed at all type of products, including edible products. Obviously, we have gone through all the stakeholders, including the Food Safety Commission and also MCCAA, amongst others. Essentially, the idea is this: as I said earlier on, this is first and foremost a voluntary initiative. This is a voluntary initiative, and as such, we are not forcing anyone to go on board or something like that. It's just an initiative that we would like everyone to be on board, but needless to say, everyone is free to adopt his or her methodologies when implementing this initiative. As guidelines, container would expect that the operator would adopt a common sense approach to, for example, the type of containers that are being used, and also the suitability for which the customer the customer presents his container for to use for placing the product within. Needless to say, the container needs to be clean, it needs to be suitable, and obviously logic here plays an important role. What is very important is that the economic operator can decline using the customer provided container if they feel that it is not suitable. Let's say, for example, someone is trying to use a container evidently used for anything but food, and is produced to put food into it. Obviously, this initiative is giving, needless to say, the economic operator the right to decline the container. Obviously, we also expect all operators to provide the necessary training to staff, and we are providing guidelines and hygiene practices as part of our initiative. And needless to say, the legal responsibility as laws remain today, that means compliance with regulations, and the risk taking for participating in this initiative rests with the economic operator. Next slide, please. I will not go through all the details of the terms and conditions, but I will highlight maybe the important aspects. At the end of the day, the aim of the initiative is to encourage alignment with the best global practices for recognition by the BYOC initiative. All businesses in the catering and retail sector are eligible to participate, and obviously where there is food involved, needless to say, all hygiene regulations are mandatory, and obviously if we become aware that these regulations are not complied to, we will have to take the necessary action, which includes disqualification and removal from the initiative. Participants are free to withdraw or deregister from the initiative. Which initiative have something that I forgot to mention, will also provide the economic operators with a marketing material that would include a sticker that will be affixed to the property of the operator, showing his or her participation in the initiative. It is also our plan to have a map that essentially will feature all registrant, an online map, so that those customers who embrace the concept of circularity, the concept of bringing their own container, essentially would know where the nearest retailer or HoReCa outlet would be. In that regard, obviously, and if someone draws or the registers, obviously we will be removing that link as well. So obviously, we are looking forward to have people onboarding this initiative, economic operators onboarding this initiative. We will have a process in place. We will have a process in place to ensure that registration flows in a structured manner as possible. And if we go to the next slide, please. The process itself would start with the submission of the application, an assessment on our part, a site inspection, basically checking that the economic operator engaging in this initiative is prepared. His outlet is prepared to accept to participate in this scheme. And essentially, once the application is approved, we'll provide the recognition package, which at the end of the day will include the features that I have already mentioned. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you for listening to this presentation. Obviously, the intention is to hear a little bit more from your side. Any questions that you have, and any comments, any concerns, we are more than happy to answer at this stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Vella, for that presentation, a very informative presentation, which we also got to know about various services. I'll stop the presentation from my end. Apologies for the technical glitch, because I didn't manage to have a full screen, because when I was clicking on the full screen, somehow we were getting another image. So apologies for that. And now we're gonna have time to have questions or try to share ideas if you wish, also from your end. We'll start off. I know that Franco from Circular Economy Malta raised his hand. So Franco,
Thank you.
please.
Good morning, everybody. Just a very brief comment. It's regarding the registrations. As Jason very well said, within a couple of days, we should have the registration available online. However, in the meantime, those of you who would like to register, we will be sending an email to all our guests so that they can register via email, which is a very straightforward and simple exercise. And needless to say, in case you need any assistance whatsoever, our team is available to assist as much as possible. What I can say at this stage, the registrations received so far is very encouraging, and I hope following this meeting we will have some more registration to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Franco, for the clarification. We will also be able, because also I've seen a question in the chat box. We will also be providing and sharing the presentation with you, and also if there's further information, and as Franco said, we will also be sharing it with you in the coming days or weeks. If there's any questions, perhaps thoughts, what I'd like perhaps or Jason or someone else to share, because also we've seen that there are already other initiatives going on, perhaps giving us some further examples how it's working, the benefits for the company, the benefits for the clients, perhaps also giving some ideas to those that attended this information session here today.
Fabian, that is a very good point. In fact, when we were designing this initiative, we became aware of a number of similar initiatives that were being taken by different parties in the local market. Obviously, I will not be mentioning brands and things like that, but yes, we did meet with the number of operators in the HoReCa market, particularly cafeterias that were themselves encouraging customers to use their own container. Obviously, we have noted a varying way of implementing similar initiatives. There were operators that mandated that the customers use the operator's own container if they are to reuse. Others were accepting of any sort of container as long as it matched. We have also noted some initiatives in the retail environment, particularly in the detergents sector, which was quite an interesting initiative. Also in healthcare products. So obviously here the idea. So one might ask, so if this already exists, why are you coming out with this initiative? Obviously, what we are trying to achieve is that we sensitize the market more towards this approach, and creating a more structured approach to something like this. As I said, obviously we are not retail experts. We do not pretend to be retail experts. So we will not go on anyone and say, listen, that particular product should be done as part of the BYOC initiative, because at the end of the day, we recognize that operators might have their particular circumstances. They might have their particular difficulties to adopt BYOC approach to a particular product, but maybe they would say, listen, instead of doing this particular product, we want to do another product, which obviously we will be supporting. The aim, at the end of the day, the aims are to reducing waste and giving something back to the customer for doing that. Those are the two main aims of the initiative itself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vella, for that information. I'm trying to check if there's any questions in the chat. Not. I don't see any questions in the chat box. Yes, Franco?
You have to switch on your mic.
Thank you. Just a small comment. Jason was mentioning that it is true consumers will be benefiting through the fact that they would be receiving financial incentives of all kinds and nature. That's up to the economic operator. 100% in the long run, the environment will be benefiting, but even the economic operator, directly and indirectly, I would say, having a sticker on somewhere in the outlet showing that you are on board such an environmental initiative will definitely benefit economic operators, because nowadays it is a fact environmental conscious people are on the increase. So it is, I would say, in the interest of all businesses to adhere and support such initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Franco. Yes, also, I'd like to add that also seeing perhaps also EU legislations which are currently being drafted, etc. It's also basically thinking and going on the way forward. So it's something which we're basically going towards that, and I think this initiative at this stage, it's also something to help the industry basically also being proactive at this stage. I'm not sure if there's any further questions or comments either from attendees. I think there's no. It's quite a clear. It was quite a clear information session. I think. I'm sure that following today, you might start thinking about options, about what your business can do, about how to join this particular initiative, perhaps, and that was the idea of this information session, so that you start thinking of what we can do. We have actually also a comment in the Q&A. Basically, Mary was not here from the start, and her question is regarding food safety.
Yes.
It's an interesting concern. The question is, if someone hands a container at a deli, how do I know that it is clean? And after that, the assistant will be serving me.
Okay. Essentially, that is a very, very valid question, and there is not a straightforward answer to that. Earlier and during the presentation, I was saying that we should be using logic as much as possible. Obviously, those that today serve customers from from the deli counters or which is something that already exists in meat shops, fish shops, and wherever, are already handling not only the products that they are packing themselves, but they are somehow interacting. Obviously, adding the customers' containers can bring along a number of additional risks. Different operators might decide, obviously here I cannot go into the detail exactly how one can do it because obviously the situation can vary, but different operators can adopt different methodologies. From the experience, for example, that we have seen from cafeterias, I know that this is not directly related to the case questioned, but I will come to it. We have seen operators doing different kind of things. There are, for example, people in cafeterias who put the customer cup under the steamer to ensure that coffee steamer to ensure that it's cleaned. Others wash it, others just look at it and just fill it in. In the case of food, in the case of food, obviously one needs to adopt similar methodologies. Obviously, the visual inspection becomes first and foremost. If one notices that a container is not clean, one is not to use it and touch it. And if on the other hand, one needs to take extra precautions, one is to do so according to their own circumstances. Ideally, instead of going for generic answers to a question like that, we would be more than happy to assist from a circular economy perspective, individual particular cases as things go along. What I need to mention is that our team, we have a team of people that will be on the ground assisting operators. You might have noticed when I showed in an earlier slide the steps that we will be doing is the vetting process. And during the vetting process, we will be assisting on a one-to-one basis operators who intend to take this forward. But underlying everything, common sense is the answer to this question as well. And at the end of the day, one has to use his observation skills to decide whether to use the container or not. Given that the person that asked the question wasn't here, said that she wasn't here for the entire presentation, I must add that the economic operator has the right to refuse to use the container if they deem that this is not appropriate, not only from a cleanliness perspective, but it could be not appropriate from a use perspective. So if someone comes with a I'm going to use a ridiculous example but to highlight the idea. With a paper bag, to put a liquid into a paper bag, obviously that is not appropriate even if it is a clean container.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vella. I think an important point is that also for those present, if you have an idea of you'd like to, or perhaps you're still coming up with an idea, that's what circular economy are also currently assisting with, giving individual attention, guiding you, so that each initiative, I was going to mention a scheme, but it's an initiative, each initiative would be successful. Basically, that's the idea. And there's also 3 interesting comments or questions in the Q&A, which I would also like to mention. Considering the direction that the EU is taking, do you think the system will become compulsory? It's and also just to connect that question, because I think it's a similar answer. Besides, will there be a financial incentive by authorities to join this scheme in the future?
Listen, what I can say at this stage is that this initiative is voluntary, and this is how it has been designed. Let us be clear. as Circular Economy Malta, we are in the business of trying to shift cultures, ways of doing things. And this initiative is a testament to that. What we are trying to do is to encourage in the market by giving an incentive to customers to essentially shift to a more circular approach to doing things. So that is what we want to achieve today. What will happen in the future? I'm not a fortune teller, but I can tell you that we have not planned this scheme to go compulsory. Sorry, the initiative to go compulsory, and we are not envisaging any sort of financial assistance in the future for someone to join the initiative. So that is how things stand today.
Thanks, Mr. Vella. Another comment, rather than question, it's sort of the only option can be to change gloves. It's also related to the first question related to the deli. The only option can be to change gloves, but then are we not creating more waste? I think also to have a global answer to this, I think the aim is not to create further waste, but that the initiative would be all together creating less waste. I think it won't make sense that if we're reducing waste from one point and then increasing waste on another point, right?
It doesn't, and that's not the intention. But obviously, you can find a thousand reasons why not to do something. In the sense that if changing of gloves as a becomes a requirement each and every time you touch a container, I would want to ask what's happening today every time a deli operator touches anything but the food. So I would say this thing will have things will weigh themselves out. I do not exclude, yes, that there might be the need to change gloves more frequently, but there could be maybe other options, and I'm sure that at the end of the day, when one weighs things one against the other, the net effect is going to be a positive effect. Again, we would be more than happy, I reiterate, we would be more than happy to assist any operator with any questions, with any doubts, and we'll try, our genuine wish is to make this work, because we believe it will have a positive impact, a true positive impact to the environment. And this is I must say, moving from providing lip service to the environment to action. We are just here requesting a little bit of effort from everyone. So obviously, like with other schemes, we will see how things develop, but we will be doing our effort to promote both the concept and the operators that are participating in an event, in an initiative like this. We believe in it, and obviously we will be keeping in mind also the very valid comments that were and questions that were asked during this presentation, to ensure that the success of the initiative is tangible and sustainable in the long term.
Thanks so much, Mr. Vella. I think there's no further comments. However, what I'd like to add is that it's already positive that related to this subject, which is something that, yes, for example, perhaps right now there's no financial benefit, or however, there's other benefits which you've mentioned for businesses, and of course, when it comes to circular economy. So it's already positive that we had a good number of registrations, we had a good number of attendees ultimately throughout this session, which we hope that it will help for you to brainstorm, to come to think about of options, ideas, and get back to Circular Economy Malta. They'll be able to assist you if you have any ideas and if you'd like to go forward with a particular initiative. So we'll be keeping in touch. We'll forward you today's presentation. In case you'd like to go through this webinar once again, information session, we'll have the recording also. So feel free to get in touch. Thanks so much, Mr. Vella. Thank you, Franco and Antonio, and all your colleagues, Mark, Nalin, and Pedro. Thank you so much for making this happen. Let's hope that from now onwards we'll have more companies that they'll decide to join this initiative. I'm not sure if you have any closing comments from your end.
Again, thank you very much to all attending. You will have, as part of the presentation, our contact details. As I said, we are more than happy to assist with the registration process with any questions that you might have. I don't know, a question popped in right now. Maybe we can tackle it as well.
Okay, yes, Jeremy's question. Thanks for that. Am I right in saying that this initiative is like the reusable bags for fruits, where you visit the supermarket or vet shop and not use the plastic bags?
It is similar. It's essentially, in that case, the bringing your own container is the veggie bag, an initiative which CM Malta was pushing as well. Maybe some of you are aware that we were giving away a good number of veggie bags to consumers, so that we reduce the use of plastic bags. But it is similar. Yes, it's not exactly the same thing, but the concept is there.
Very good. And there's also Astrid that raised hand. You may talk, Astrid, if you'd like.
I think the mic is switched off.
Sorry, it was by mistake. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so there's no further, I think, further question. I think there's another Q&A.
Welcome, Jeremy.
Okay, thanks. Welcome, Jeremy. Thank you all once again for joining, and thanks for your time from Circular Economy Malta. Thanks and good day.
Thank you all. Wish you all a good day.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.